Your women's Olympic gymnastics team has just been announced just moments ago, the very last night of those Olympic trials wrapping up right here on KPRC2. And wouldn't you know it, Houston's own Simone Biles is among the women's team headed to Tokyo to represent Team USA.
Just as we expected, we have been counting down to the opening ceremony for you, which kicks off July 23rd. That day, now less than a month away. Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Sion Rhodes.
And I'm Jonathan Martinez. Tonight's competition opened up with Simone Biles on the beam, and from there, gymnasts took their turns going through various routines.
KPRC2's Keith Garvin live from St. Louis, where the U.S. Olympic trials just wrapped up. Keith?
Hey there, Sion and Jonathan. An amazing night here in St. Louis continues. Houston, get your hashtag Biles and Giles ready, because there are two Houstonians, people representing Houston, who will be headed to the Olympic team for the women's gymnastics team in Tokyo. Let's go ahead and get a look at some of the video. We want to start with Simone Biles first. What an amazing night for her. She did wow the crowd, of course, as everyone expected, but she also shocked the crowd at one moment when she came down from the beam. She did continue that night. The night started off for her on the vault, which is perhaps her strongest event. She did not disappoint. 15.4, the highest score of the night in that routine. She did well on the uneven bars, which she's always said is her least favorite event, but then came that moment that shocked the entire arena. Simone started off well on the beam, but then came down after her first few passes. She did finish. Wound up, though, with the 8th highest score. Highly unusual for Simone Biles to hear 8th place in anything. She rebounded amazingly with her floor exercise, another signature event for her. She rose to the occasion and earned the highest score of the night in that event, and then the crowd rose and gave her a standing ovation. Here's what Simone had to say after learning she was heading back to the Olympics. Okay, we will hear from Simone a little bit later in sports, but first to Jordan Giles, or I should say next to Jordan Giles now, because she is that second member representing Spring, Texas in the World Champion Center there in Spring. Jordan, obviously one of the most consistent performers, and she came in 3rd in these Olympic trials. Absolutely fabulous, especially on the vault and the floor exercise. She also received a standing ovation after her floor exercise. Everyone on pins and needles back here live for about an hour, because after the competition was over, and we learned that Simone and another member were selected automatically, we had to wait another hour to hear who the other members would be, and Jordan Giles is selected as the 3rd member of that team. 3 of 4, she will be heading to Tokyo with her teammate and her very good friend, Simone Biles, who she considers a big sister. Simone actually is the reason that Jordan decided to come to Spring and train. She was going to give up gymnastics a few years ago, and I think she and her family and everyone in the gymnastics world is very happy that she did not do that. 2 other young ladies from the World Champion Center there in Spring, they were here. They did great. We had Zoe Miller, who's actually the youngest athlete here. She's 15 years old, and then also Amari Drayton, who is 16 years old. They are fabulous athletes. They will be back. I think in 3 years is when we will have, again, the next Olympic trials, and they are going to be back. They're going to do a fabulous job. But a great night here in St. Louis, and a great night for Spring, and a great night for Houston. Again, 2 gymnasts heading to Tokyo for the Olympics. Reporting live in St. Louis, Keith Garvin, KPRC2 News.
We are so proud of all of them, Keith. Thank you.